Welcome to Facebook Live with Amanda Hall Psychic. Each week here after my show on A1R Psychic Radio on Moonstruck TV out of the US of A, I conduct a mini workshop. Each week we have a different topic that we're going to talk about. So I'd like to welcome you all here this afternoon to our workshop number 26. And this week our workshop is on wishcraft. So that's an unusual word, I hear you say, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as we get going. So I'd like to sort of just welcome everybody. It's great to have you here with us. For those of you that join us every week, welcome back again. For those of you that are new from all parts of the globe, we welcome you too. It's a free event. It's something that we talk about each week. We work with candles. We work with a different topic or subject each week of how we're going to conduct the workshop. So let's get some T's and C's out of the road before we start. My name's Amanda Hall Psychic. I've been in the psychic industry here in Australia for over 40 years. I was inducted into the Psychic Hall of Fame in 2013. The last 4 years consecutive here in Australia, I've won Psychic of the Year, and that's an award that's voted by the public. It's a People's Choice Award, so I thank everybody that voted for me year after year. I really am humbled and honoured that you think that my work is worthy of such an award. On this little mini workshop, I do not perform free readings. For those of you that want an opportunity to have a free reading, you need to join the wait list over at A1R Psychic Radio. Now, A1R Psychic Radio broadcasts live out of the US every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday night from 8 p.m. till midnight. And each night they have an amazing assortment of psychics, healers, Reiki masters from around the globe that do little half-hour shows, and you have the opportunity to get a free reading with one of the world's top psychics for free. So if you want to do that, head over to A1R Psychic Radio and, you know, pop your name down tonight. You'll probably be too late to get in for a free reading. I know the lines have been jammed for hours, but you may be able to get a head start for tomorrow night, 8 o'clock US time, so check your own local timetable for that. So here on the workshop series, what we endeavour to do is teach people to understand how to bring better intent, purpose and direction in their life using a candle or using one of my soy candles, but also teaching you how to work with new skills that we all need to try and bring some positive energy into our lives, I think, on a day-to-day basis. Now, it's really, really interesting because a lot of people have been feeling very, very uncomfortable. My inbox has been full in the last couple of weeks, or more full than usual, about people saying to me, Amanda, I feel very uncomfortable. The energy's all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. One minute I'm happy, the next minute I'm sad. People don't seem to be listening to me. What's wrong with me? And other people are saying things are happening like, bang, I think of it and things are happening. Things are clearing, things are changing with a split second's notice. Okay, for a little quick trip around the universe, which I don't normally do, but we will this week. It's been partly because of a number of reasons. We're in the middle of the eclipse season. We've got the third eclipse coming up in this series in the next couple of weeks. I'll talk more about that on the show next week. We have a full moon coming up in about 9 days time that'll be in Pisces. So we're all going to be starting to sort of get a little bit watery with our emotions in the next few days. But more importantly, we've had the planet of communication, Mercury, has been going retrograde or backwards now for a couple of weeks. He's still got another 7 days to go. So this can play havoc with our communication. People don't have their listening ears on. Technology breaks down. You go to send an email and it gets sent to the wrong person, and you know darn well you sent it to the right person, but for whatever happened, it got sent to the wrong person. That creates a disagreement or an uncomfortable situation, or whatever the case may be. So there can be lots of communication issues at the moment, but we've also had some other major planetary influences happening this year where things are happening suddenly. And things are happening that we just aren't expecting. You know, one minute we're in a job and the next minute we get offered another job, or something else happens, or we lose that job, or a door closes and we think, wow, I didn't see that coming. And it's sort of like it's left people feeling a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit sort of like as if they're not in the driver's seat or controlling their own destiny. And maybe we're not. And, you know, I believe we all still have free will, but I think a lot of things that happen to us are destined in our lives. Where our free will comes in is how we handle it. Do we look at it on a positive, or do we look at it on a negative? Do we fight it? Do we learn to listen to our inner voice, our gut feeling, our psychic ability, whatever the case, whatever label you want to put on it? Are we really listening to it? And I know I waffle on a lot about psychic protection, but protection is really an important part of our lives. The more we all work with energy, the more we learn we need to work with protection. So whether you find an easy way or a hard way of psychically protecting yourself in these busy times, I think we've got to have some snap of the fingers, quick situations that we can do to protect ourselves. Now, one of my favorite ones is closing my eyes for about 30 seconds and imagining I'm putting myself in a bubble, that nobody can come any closer to me, they bounce back, that they can't penetrate my energy. There's other ones that I use, but that's one of my favorite techniques. I'm a big believer in sort of, I'm not a big fan of meditation. I don't seem to be able to still my mind long enough. My meditation is, somebody, I'll say it, John Farnham on the turntable, a cup of coffee and a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore, but that used to be my little ritual before I started my day. I still like John Farnham and he's quite often on my turntable, but now I tend to use more of a protection wax, where I have either a protection candle going when I'm working, or I put some protection soy wax in my melt warmer and I have that. And as I go to turn it on, I ask for the protection for me and my clients, the people that I'm going to be working with, the people I'm going to be reaching during this live presentation, and, people that watch it on the replay. So they're my little methods. They're some of my little methods. I mix it up a bit, but please find something that works for you. So this now takes us on to the subject that we're going to be talking about today, which is wishcraft. Now, wishcraft is a candle that when I was designing my candle range a few years ago now, I wanted to have a candle that was sort of neutral, that could be sort of considered a candle that you could place any particular wish that you wanted into it, that you could change it daily, weekly, monthly. You could make it your very own, that you could sort of say, well, okay, I want a particular candle that will do X, Y, Z. Well, this is when I came up with the idea of making a candle that was neutral. Then I struggled with what would I call it, that I had to be very careful that it wasn't something that was going to offend people. I didn't necessarily want it something that only went towards the Wiccan community, because they, deal a lot in manifestation and beautiful things, and that's their beliefs. I'm not big into Wicca. I know enough about it that I respect it, and it's the same as religion. I'm not here to push my value systems down your throat. All I will tell you is that I have many, many different beliefs, and I don't believe one situation is any more right than the other. Whether you're a Catholic, a Protestant, whether you believe in Wicca, whether you believe in your own religion, whether it may be Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever floats your boat is right for you. And it's not my place to tell you what I think my personal beliefs are, that you should follow those. You should follow your own heart and your own dreams. So after playing around with a number of names, I came up with the word wishcraft, because I thought, well, we're trying to bring our wishes to fruition, and we're actually crafting them or manifesting them. So when I put the two words together, wish manifestation didn't sound right, but wish and craft, and not wishcrafting, because I didn't want it to sound like witchcraft or witchcrafting, but wishcraft became a name that felt comfortable with me. Then when I went about to design the label and things like that, that I had to design something that I felt symbolized what we were trying to bring in. And I took a background that was shot for our Simply Tarot cards many, many years ago at a winery on the Sunshine Coast here in Australia. And it had a little statue sitting at the end of it. And I thought, well, I don't want a picture of a statue there. So I superimposed the pentagram off the Ace of Pentacles on our Simply Tarot cards, and it actually, we used the same shot on the background of that card. And I thought that's an appropriate background to put as part of the Wishcraft label. Now, it was only earlier this year that I have a passion for watching a lot of movies and former